What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. We have this interesting question and we're told to look for the values of x. Well, most people, for the fun part, we like to square both sides, but I don't encourage that. I'm going to be showing you the simple method that solves this question in no time, and that would be the substitution method. So we can say let a be equal to our first radical, which is the square root of 16 minus x squared, and let b be equal to our second radical, which is the square root of 9 minus x squared. So if a is this and b is this, that means our original equation turns to a plus b equal to 5. Very good. Now let's come back to our substitution. In order to get rid of these radicals, we have to square both sides. So I square the left-hand side, square the right-hand side. I square the left-hand side, square the right-hand side. Well, for the first equation, we have a squared to be equal to, this square cancels out the square root, leaving behind 16 minus x squared. For our second equation, we have b squared to be equal to, this square cancels out the square root, leaving behind 9 minus x squared. Very good. Now we can subtract these two new equations. So I subtract the left, I subtract the right. So the left, I have a squared minus b squared, and this will be equal to, now the right hand side, 16 minus 9 is 7, negative x squared. Negative times negative is positive, so this means negative x squared plus x squared is 0. So I have this. Now notice something, that this is difference of two squares, which can be expressed as a plus b times a minus b. And this is equal to 7. Well, a plus b is already known, and we have this as 5. So I'm going to be putting 5 here. So this is 5 times a minus b equal to 7. When I divide both sides by 5, I'm going to have 5 cancel out, leaving behind a minus b to be equal to 7 all over 5. So I have this third equation here, a plus b equal to 5, and also have a minus b equal to 7 all over 5. I'm going to be solving these two equations together. Now, solving these two equations, we have to add them together. So I'll add the left-hand side and also add the right-hand side. So on adding, a plus a is 2a, b plus minus b, that's the same as b minus b, and that is 0. This is equal to 5 plus 7 over 5. So let's write that somewhere here. 5 plus 7 all over 5. Well, this 5 is an whole number, while this is a fraction. To make 5 a fraction, I have to put over 1. Now we want their denominators to be the same. Since I have 5 here, here must be 5. So how do I make here 5? By multiplying 1 by 5. So 1 times 5 is 5. And as I multiply the denominator by 5, I should do the same to the numerator. So 5 times 5 is 25. That is it. So plus 7 all over 5. So now that the denominators are the same, I can just write it, 5. Then I add the numerators. 25 plus 7 is 32. So I have 32 all over 5. Very good. Now to get the value of a, I just have to multiply both sides by 1 all over 2. So I multiply the left by 1 over 2. I'll multiply the right by 1 over 2. So that this 2 cancels out this 2. 1 times a is a, and this is equal to this 2 here, 1, 2 here is 16. 16 times 1 is 16 all over 5. Very good. So we've got the value of a to be 16 all over 5. But now recall from our substitution that we said let a be equal to the square root of 16 minus x squared. And we did the other time, we got rid of this square root by taking the square of both sides, and we got a squared to be 16 minus x squared. Very good. We're interested in x and not a. So let's try to make x squared a subject. Making x squared a subject, it is x squared equal to 16 minus a squared. Very good. So let's substitute the value of a here. So we have x squared to be equal to 16 minus a. What is a? We got a to be 16 over 5. So 16 all over 5. And it is raised to power 2. So I'm going to be raising this to power 2. So simplifying further, we have x squared to be equal to 16 minus. Now, 16 squared is 256 all over 5 squared is 25. Very good. Now, this is a fraction and this is a whole number. To make this a fraction, I'm going to be putting over 1 here. We need the denominators to be the same. And in order for them to be the same, I have to multiply 1 by 25. So x squared is equal to, now 25 times 1 is 25. Whatever I do to denominator, I do to the numerator. So I multiply the denominator by 25, so I should do the same to the numerator. So 25 times 16 is 400. Good. Minus, here I have 256 all over 25. Now the denominators are the same, so I can just write it, 25. So 400 minus 256, I have 144. And remember, this is equal to x squared. Now let's get rid of this square by taking the square root of both sides. So I'll take the square root of x squared. This is equal to, plus or minus, I'll take the square root of 144 all over 25. Now to get rid of this square root cancels out the square, leaving behind x to be equal to plus or minus. We can separate the square roots into the square root of 144 all over the square root of 25. So x is now equal to plus or minus. The square root of 144 is 12 all over the square root of 25 is 5. So we have two values of x from here, of which the first value is a positive 12 over 5, while the other value is negative 12 over 5. Well, feel free to share your ideas in the comment section below. And if you enjoyed this video and have learned something from this video, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't. Turn on the notification bell so you don't miss my upcoming videos. And like I always say, until next time, take care.